So this past week, Chelsea have unveiled their new 23-24 home shirt. It's caused some controversy. They've been marketing it as, it's a 90s thing. Wow, we're a 90s YouTube channel, guys, so I thought this is right down our street. But how 90s is it? So in this video, I'm going to compare the new 23-24 home shirt with Chelsea's 90s versions. We did a similar thing 2 weeks ago with the Manchester United shirts. And this week, we're going to do it with Chelsea shirts. Let's do this. Before we begin, guys, I've got loads of awesome 90s collectibles in the post. I was going to make a different video this week, ranking the top 10 90s collectibles you probably forgot you had. I've got a few in front of me right now, so subscribe if you want to see that video. Anyway, onto the Chelsea shirt. So most of you have probably already seen this, but it's on the screen for you right now. It's caused a bit of controversy. It's a little bit different than your standard Chelsea kit, especially over the last 20 years. So as you can see, they've got like a goldy, metallic-y looking badge and Nike swoosh, and they've got those yellow trims on the sleeves, even though the yellow looks a little bit more gold than it did on the kit that it's based on. So they're marketing this as it's a 90s thing, as essentially it's a throwback, a 25-year throwback to the 97 to 99 kit. That 97 to 98 season they won the Cup Winners' Cup, and they're celebrating that with this kit. They've got Roberto Di Matteo in the marketing, Dennis Wise. That's never a bad thing, but I think the problem with this kit, with Chelsea fans in particular, isn't the throwback element. Everyone loves a throwback kit, not just Chelsea fans, but it's the fact that it's marketed as a 90s style kit, when in reality it's a very modern looking kit, just with the white bits under the arm and the yellow bits on the sleeve, similar to what they had in 97. But looking at it, you know, objectively, without that 90s branding, I actually think it's quite a nice shirt. It's a little bit different. There's only so much you can do when you release new shirts every single year. You've got to be really creative. I think the problem people have as well is it's essentially a Nike template that they've used for other clubs, with that kind of bit around the collar, that plain looking collar, which really isn't 90s. If you add red and blue stripes to that, that's essentially a Barcelona kit. So let's compare this current Chelsea kit with those of the 90s. So guys, I've used Football Kit Archive as my reference point for the kits, so shout out to them. We're going to start with the 89 to 91 kit. Now this kind of shocked me a little bit, because I know this was the Commodore era of the Chelsea football kit. They had Commodore before as a sponsor, and they had Commodore after. I'm not sure why for a couple of years they went with like a plain kit like they're currently doing right now. But yeah, from 89 to 91 on the screen right now is this beautiful Umbro kit. Now I know what you're thinking, this is awesome, this is very 90s, it's got those diamondy type shapes in the pattern, but we mentioned that the new kit is almost a template used by Nike for various kits. Well, Umbro could be guilty of the same thing. Let's not let our nostalgia take over right here. Luton Town did a throwback last season to their version of this kit when they had Umbro back then as well, in the orange, and I know a number of kits, or a number of clubs should I say, use this kit template. So as much of a nice template as it is, it's not necessarily unique to Chelsea. They've got the old style badge of course with the red lion and the red trim. They kind of used red as a trim for a few kits, especially in the early 90s. But if we compare this kit with the modern day kit, which is a nice comparison because neither have the sponsor, I mean, nostalgia is going to probably play a part right here. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are going to choose the 89 to 91 kit. For me, it's a very, very tricky decision if we look objectively. I know people aren't too happy about the new kit, so I'm going to hold off on which one I choose as the winner between these two to the end of the video. So before we reveal that, let me know in the comments below which of the two kits you think is the best. So moving swiftly on, we're on to Commodore right here. This is the 91 to 93 kit. Now, I referenced this Umbro template, again it's a template guys, in my Manchester United equivalent video as this. In the Man United Laces kit, the famous Laces kit, people often forget that there's an MUFC like interwoven within the fabric. I'm just going to go and get the shirt just to show you what I'm going on about. Apologies for the rainy noise guys, we're in the shed, no frills on the channel. But if we just have a look
you can see there's a CFC kind of interwoven within the fabric of the Chelsea shirt. But if we look at the Manchester United equivalent, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but there is a very similar pattern going on. You've got like the MUFC, even though it's probably hard to see, the MUFC. Again, not necessarily unique to Chelsea that, or unique to Manchester United. So I marked down the Man United kit when I did a similar style video because of it not being necessarily unique to Manchester United compared to their modern shirt, their 23-24 shirt. So I can't really be hypocritical right here. Again, Umbro have done a beautiful shirt. You've got a nice red and white bit on the sleeve. You've got that awesome 90s sponsor in Commodore. You've got the old style badge. The collar's obviously a little bit different than Manchester United, so it's, you know, it's not all the same, but it's not necessarily unique to Chelsea. And I know what you're saying, the new one, maybe a little bit bland, a little bit generic also, but it isn't quite as easy to put this kit, or should I say the 91 to 93 kit, above the modern day kit. I'm gonna choose the 91 to 93 kit over the 23-24 kit, purely for the fact that it's just a lush kit. That collar's nice, definitely 91 to 93. Okay, so the next kit was kind of used from 93 to 95, but they changed sponsor after one season. So from 93 to 94, you had the Amiga kit. Again, check out last week's video when we reviewed the 93 to 94 Premier League kits and compared them to all the current 23-24 kits. So we've done this comparison last week, and last week, I can't even remember what I went for. I'm gonna really put my foot in it if I choose something different than last week. It shows how fickle I am. Well, obviously, I'm gonna go with the Amiga 93-94 Chelsea kit. But if you look at that beautiful kit, it's got the Amiga sponsor, yes. Alright, again, we think kits were more unique to clubs back then than they are now. Were they really? Because if you compare that to Spurs, the white kit looks quite similar, similar collar, similar Umbro trim around the sleeve. There's a lot of similar kits. I think Ipswich might have had a similar kit back then. And if we just flick over to the 94-95 version, it's exactly the same, but with a Coors logo instead of Amiga. Both of them, I think, are awesome sponsors. I can't necessarily choose one over the other. I'm just thinking of Van Damme on the Coors advert in the Icy Mountains. I like both of these shirts. It's a clean template, but it's a really nice template. It's, again, going by templates, I'm sorry I've got to keep using United references, Chelsea fans, but I don't have the shirts at hand. Even though the United equivalent is a lot more personal, I don't know if you can see it on there, you've got Old Trafford within the fabric. Obviously Fergie was very much smashing the Premier League at this point, so Man United had a special bit of treatment to their Umbro templates. But again, it's got a very similar collar to United. I think that kit isn't very 90s. I think in the mid-90s Umbro played it a little bit safe, but it's a very stylish template, and I really like that Chelsea shirt. So again, 2-0 so far. I'm going to have to go with the 93-94 and the 94-95 version of the Chelsea shirt over the 23-24 shirt. Again, apologies for the rain. We're in my man cave shed. It's literally a bodge job. Very, very noisy in here. But if you are enjoying the video, guys, don't forget to stick thumbs up. Tells YouTube it's a good video. And something else which is quite good is the 95 to 97 Chelsea shirt. They had, I'm gonna have to shout on it, they had Coors still. They've got the CFC badge within the actual shirt itself. So it's a little bit personalised to Chelsea. Again, that's often what us 90s nostalgia type people throw at you. When we say modern kits aren't very nice, we say 90s kits were a lot more personal back then. And they were. I love stuff within the fabric. It just adds an element of uniqueness to each club. You know, obviously I mentioned the United one. It's nice to see Chelsea getting some special treatment. Things were definitely on the up, on the pitch anyway. They signed Ruud Gullit. You had Zola come in, and he wore that kit, I think, for a season. Di Matteo with that famous goal versus Middlesbrough. Lots of cool memories coming up in that Chelsea shirt. So they had this shirt from 95 to 97. The shirt before, the throwback one that the new kit's based on. Really, really nice. It's not massively different to the one before, but they've essentially replaced the red in the badge with yellow, and obviously that applies to the trim on the collar as well.
I think the yellow goes really nicely with the blue. I'd actually say it even goes nicer than the red does. Again, if you're a Chelsea fan, let me know what you think. What kind of colour, other than maybe a bit of white on your Chelsea kit, do you prefer yellow, red? I like that yellow, it's nice. And speaking of which, oh, I haven't given you a score, have I? What are we going to choose? New kit? Let's be honest, I'm defending the new kit. But this kit's nicer, isn't it? The 95 to 97 kit for me is nicer. Not only have you got the badge, you've got these kind of, you've got stuff written in the shirt. Let's just have a closer look at that.
So I don't know why I'm showing you this on my phone, because you've got it on the screen, but as you can see, especially from a distance, it looks like lines. But let me know, Chelsea fans, it could possibly be like Umbro did for Manchester United's away kit, where we had loads of names within the shirt. Maybe Chelsea's was the same, who knows?
Regardless of whether they're indeed stripes or there's added detail within that shirt, it's a really nice shirt. So obviously I'm going to go with the 95 to 97 shirt over the 23-24 shirt. That little dose of yellow must have been a success, because it led on to the heavyweight of today's video. The shirt that the new 23-24 shirt is based upon, the 97 to 99 shirt. Now this shirt, obviously looking back with rose tinted glasses, gives us fond memories. Maybe not so much for me as a Man United fan, but it definitely would give a Chelsea fan fond memories. It's 25 years ago-ish, maybe 24 years ago, where Chelsea won the Cup Winners' Cup. That is very much behind the marketing campaign for the new It's a 90s Thing shirt. Obviously you've got Dennis Wise, Roberto Di Matteo, Zola was wearing this shirt. So you've got some iconic players that would have worn this shirt. Now, I'm looking at the sponsor. We look back at Autoglass as a sponsor that's almost become cool because it's now retro, because it's old. But I'm sure that at the time, you know, we need to put ourselves in the position of Chelsea fans at the time. I mentioned last week that at the time, would Chelsea fans have been so happy with this shirt? Obviously, they didn't really have white in such a large quantity on the shirt prior to this. The yellow was kind of turned up a little bit, but also they've got Autoglass as opposed to Coors, Commodore, Amiga. It's maybe not quite as cool a sponsor as some of the previous ones. But with that said, obviously we're going to choose the 97 to 99 shirt over the 23-24. It's the same with films, isn't it? They can remake films all they want. It's nice to go down memory lane, have a bit of nostalgia, but it never beats the original. And that's indeed the case with this shirt right here. I'm sure there's no surprises in this video for you guys. Obviously I've gone retro all the way. 90s are kicking, this new It's a 90s Thing shirt's ass basically. I'm looking at it as well, they've got the Umbro written as opposed to Umbro diamonds. I really liked the diamonds, is that what we call it, the Umbro actual logo. On those earlier shirts, you know, England had it with the Italian 90 shirts, the Umbro around the sleeves, really, really nice. I just don't think the Umbro written that they did in the late 90s really worked. I know United over here had it for the Champions League shirt. They had it previously actually with a button shirt. So it wasn't just unique to Chelsea. Umbro seemed to be just trying something different. But there we go. Moving on to what I feel is the worst shirt on the list. Maybe the new shirt is going to beat this shirt. Who knows? The 99 to 2001 shirt. I just tail end of the 90s, so forgive me for creeping into the noughties. This shirt right here is probably one of the worst templates I think Umbro did. And Umbro used this template for the England shirt from like 90... What was it, 2000? I think it was Euro 2000, and that's my least favourite England shirt. I really dislike that England shirt. Now, the Chelsea shirt is almost like a blue version. I think Umbro by this point had kind of shed the whole 90s style of shirt, which obviously we look back fondly of now. At the time they wanted a clean shirt, a little less unique with buttons and zips. They wanted a shirt that people might wear out and about casually as a fashion item. Obviously back then Umbro staggered the release of shirts, like there wasn't a new shirt every single season like there is now. They released every 2 years generally, the home shirt. Now Chelsea's were like staggered differently from like Manchester United's and Everton's for example. Whereas like the year before, Man United had the gorgeous zip shirt with the unique Umbro trim on the sleeves. Now Everton had that trim, that template, along with various other Umbro clubs. Chelsea a year later unfortunately inherited that weak template, and for me, Do you know what? I'm going to shock you guys, and I'm actually going to choose the new 23-24 shirt over this bloody shirt. I just really don't like it. Looking at it, I mean, there's a little bit of detailing, a little bit that Umbro I was going on about on the sleeve, but it's not quite as visible as they did with the strip. It's just faintly in there within the sleeve. Unless you've got really good eyesight, you're never seeing that Umbro detailing. For me, it's boring, it's plain. It's not too far off a 23-24 shirt, but yeah, not much to applaud, I don't think, in this 99 shirt. So ladies and gents, what did you put as your winner between the 89 to 91 shirt versus the modern day shirt? For me, it's an obvious answer. It is going to be the 89 to 91 shirt. Again, let me know in the comments below if you disagree with that. For me, it's obviously nice to look back at these 90s shirts. They've almost become a fashion accessory. You know, it's cool to wear 90s shirts. But really, if you've got a throwback shirt on the go, you should have that same feeling with the throwback shirt. But obviously, the new 23-24 shirt doesn't have that same feeling as the original 90s shirt. So, almost a full house for 90s kits. Kind of lost its way a little bit on that 99 to 01 shirt, but generally speaking, we say this in every video, 90s shirts are always, usually, superior. So just to summarise, I think the new shirt isn't as bad as people make out from just a general aesthetics perspective. If you're looking at it objectively as a shirt, if they didn't market it as a 90s shirt, it's quite a nice shirt. It's nice to have something a little bit unique going on. I mean, looking at it right here, the white is a little bit different than that 97 one. The 97 one was just under the sleeve, whereas the white of the new one tends to go down the side a little bit more. It's kind of like they've hinted a throwback, but for me, you've either got to go all in on a throwback, not half-assed, or just don't bother, just do a modern style kit. So that's the problem, isn't it, guys? They've marketed it as a 90s throwback, but they've not gone all in. They've just dipped their toes in the water. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see me compare any more modern day kits with their 90s versions, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the Manchester United version of this video, and I upload 90s football content every single week, so subscribe if you love 90s football. And before we finish, can I just make reference to the fact that the new Chelsea shirt isn't quite out yet. They released pictures this past week, but it's not actually out till August, so check it out when it comes out in August, and hopefully someone will do a nice in-person review of the shirt. It might not be as bad as we all think. See you next week.